Have you ever wanted to start making videos for either a vlog or maybe a project that's a little more private, like recording vacations or your kids' birthday parties? If not, maybe you're just interested in how I approach filming episodes of Rice Farming TV. Either way, I'd like to share with you some insight into how I made my early videos and the basic camera gear I use. Now this topic is fresh on my mind because, as many of you know, in a week I'll be speaking on a rice storytelling panel at the annual USA Rice Outlook Conference in San Antonio. Because I'm sure time will be limited during the panel, I'll be able to reference this video to help those there that became inspired to share their story. Also, many of you here on YouTube over the last year have requested this video. Just last week, E.G. Bassman 1 commented, "Hey, you should review the stuff you use for making your videos and how to become as successful as you." Thanks, EG. And I've got to say, I do not consider myself an authority on making videos or movies, but I do want to share my approach and my gear, especially to those of you who are considering to start producing content. So let's just jump straight into the camera gear. By the way, the links to everything I'll be reviewing are down in the description. Now, the best camera you can have is the camera you have, and that's probably your phone. I started Rice Farming TV with this iPhone 5. It's just fine for shooting, but with a couple inexpensive accessories, you can really improve the quality and range of shots. Take this lens kit for example. You have a micro lens for extreme close-ups and a wide angle lens for wide angle shots. I never use the fisheye lens, but it's included, and it just clips on to your phone. You can see I use the macro lens for the opening shot of episode 8, A Missed Call from the Future, and in episode 46, Baby's First Visit to New York, I demonstrated that I was using this wide angle lens. Using a wide angle lens is important in capturing you and what's around you, because your arm only stretches out so far. And anyway, you want your phone close enough to pick up your vocal audio. As for audio, you can get this sweet little directional microphone that just plugs into your phone. It even comes with this wind guard, perfect for keeping your audio crisp while shooting outdoors, especially in the wind. Now, image stabilization is big. It's extremely distracting when your camera is subtly bobbing when recording. So, grab a cheap tripod. For more active shots where you would want to use a GoPro, like a first-person point of view, purchase this sweet camera phone headband mount. It's the fraction of the cost of a GoPro. The camera just straps in, and now you can use both hands while filming. Use the wide-angle lens in conjunction with this to capture more of what's in front of you. I really utilized this combo in episode 3, Draining Physically Draining. Besides, you really look cool wearing all this. None of your friends are ever going to tease you about this setup. A couple other things to consider when shooting with your phone, or just in general. Don't run out of batteries, and don't run out of data storage. For your phone, think about a portable battery charger, and upload and delete your photos and videos often. This whole camera setup is great for travel because none of this is too bulky, which is why I occasionally still use this gear. Again, in episode 46, Baby's First Visit to New York was completely shot on my phone, and this gear, minus the headband, I used. Now, for a little better image quality, go with a point and shoot. I use this Panasonic Lumix DMC LX7 camera because of its really crisp, high quality lens and advanced shooting options. Though early on I still relied heavily on my iPhone because this camera doesn't have a flip out viewfinder. So when shooting myself, I use my camera phone's front facing camera to make sure I was in frame. Now we've got all this footage, right? Let's take a break from cameras and talk about editing these clips together. To this day, I do not use a professional editing suite. I have no education in editing software, so I'm intimidated by such programs. What I use is iMovie, the stock editing software on all Macs, the equivalent of Windows Movie Maker on PC. I just encourage you to get familiar with all the functions of the software. Push every button to see what it does. Teach yourself like I taught myself. There's not too much, so it won't take long. But really, all you need to tell your story is to be able to place individual clips together. iMovie and Movie Maker will do that. So if you have a phone and a computer, you can easily start making videos. But what we haven't covered is the story you're telling in those videos. This, above everything, is the most important in my opinion. You can have slick video production, but if your content is boring, slow, or uninteresting, you will lose your audience. This is why I like to make my videos short and about one specific topic or theme. I also put in a great deal of energy imagining how the video will look, where I'm going to shoot, what's in the background, what time of day. I also take notes and write up a rough draft of talking points. This allows my shooting to be more efficient and my narration to flow without pauses and ohs and ums. Also, consider how your video will move from scene to scene. Just as I like smooth, concise narration, I like fast transitions and pacing from scene to scene. If my subject changes and thus background changes, how did I get from point A to B? Maybe that's just a shot of my feet walking. Just make your video as tight as possible. Every frame has purpose and push the narrative ahead. Try to explain something in the least amount of words possible. And of course, remember that I'm not a professional and these are just my opinions. But at least now we have a starting point for how to make videos. You have the gear already, you have my recommendations for cheap editions, and we've scratched the surface on my philosophy of making videos. If this was interesting to you, I will continue in future episodes of Rice Farming TV. I'll cover more expensive technical gear like my DSLR, 360-degree camera, drone, stabilizers, etc. If you're just getting started, do what I did. Start with what you have, practice, and if you are feeling rewarded by the work you're doing, and if you're getting the response from your audience you hope for, then invest more time and money to improve the quality of your content. If you guys have any questions, please let me know and I'd love to elaborate. If you'd like to see a follow-up episode to this, also let me know. Otherwise, please subscribe to stay updated and have a great day.